This is the first North American qualifiers. We already have 3 teams qualified for the North American regionals, and we are about to claim our 4th. It has come down to this. iTotem Telly's taking on Time in this matchup, and as you can hear in the background, we are jumping into the map now. It's once again going to Burial Chamber for the initial match.
I like the name. I like iTotem Telly's. I'm wondering if one of them's a specialist with Galena, totem placement. Maybe that's their thing.
That is the big question, isn't it? Now, if we actually see a Galena or not. If there isn't, that's a pretty big disappointment.
Oh no, it is a little bit of a disappointment. I don't see her. I'm very disappointed.
That's a shame. We should force them to change their team name immediately.
I think so. I think they should back up what their name says and then have some totems around the map. Okay, I'm just kidding. Let's get on with it.
That's actually an interesting point though. Is that we haven't seen. I don't think we've seen a Galena all day as of yet.
Yeah, not on Sacrifice. Yeah, she definitely gets popped out on Duel, but I don't know. I think she's a pretty strong champion, and imagine just throwing that down when there's a scrum over the point and just kind of throwing it in the middle of people. I don't know. It could be really effective. I think if used properly, but. Maybe it's a kept secret. They don't want to show it yet. They'll pick one.
All right. Well, it looks like we should be starting in a second. Maybe. I don't know if. Hold on. Okay, maybe not. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. It looks like we're gonna restart this one. I think there's like a huge ping difference, so I think they're gonna try this again. I think the first server. I think the problem was one team had like an average of like 10 to 20, and the other team had like 40 plus on a lot of their guys. So. Well, only one of them was like sub 20, so I think they're unhappy with that server choice, and they'd like to try a new one. So that's why we're gonna go back to lobby and attempt this one again. Should only be like a 2 or 3 second switch of the guys, so it should be really quickly here to jump back into the match. In fact, we're already looking for the new server now, so as soon as we find it, we'll jump back in.
Always, it just makes me chuckle a little bit because it goes all the way back to the old days, a little maneuvering for what server you prefer and latency, differences and all that. But it's just that argument goes back a long way. Thankfully, though, with the internet technology getting better as it has, it's less of an argument now than it used to be.
Yeah, well, it's still a big deal in games like this. As you do need like really low ping just to play on these games. It's the same in Counter-Strike as well, especially in NA. It's not as big of a deal in Europe just because everything is a lot more clustered together for the most part, so the servers are generally relatively similar depending on like the players and whatnot. But in NA it's like a bigger deal because everybody's spread out a lot more, so you have the server picks and make a pretty big deal.
Yeah, my rule with shooters is pretty simple. I don't play with high ping.
There you go. There you go. Well, we're back into it now here, so we can get started with this. And once again, iTotem Telly is going to be over on the left side there, and the guys on the right side, or on the red team more specifically, is going to be on Time. So let's jump into it. It's our first map of this final match, and this is for the 4th and final slot in North American Regionals for this week. So a lot of qualification on the line, and the loser, well, they'll have to settle for making it this far and then have to attempt it again during the next qualifier for NA. We should once again remind you folks out there that this is not the end of the action for this weekend, of course, in Quake Champions. We do have a lot more of it going on starting out tomorrow as well. We're going to finish off the dual run. You saw some of the North American action yesterday and some of the European action a little bit before that. Well, both are going to come to their epic conclusions tomorrow as Europe plays out their round of 16, and we'll also be playing out our round of 16 in tomorrow's matches to settle out 8 more players from each of those regions that will be going on to the European and North American regionals. 8 from each will move forward, of course, as the winners of each match will earn a slot. But let's jump into it. It's time once again for Burial Chamber here in Sacrifice 4v4. Starting it off, we'll get a nice little bit of combat to get things started here before the soul spawns itself.
Not a single heavy character for iTotem Telly's. So see how that works out for them.
Yeah, same strat as Johnson and Liquid went for on this map too. So there's definitely a common theory amongst players and amongst pros here now that they do want to go for the squishier lineup here. And you can see that the guys over here on Time just completely grabbed that soul and ran it so quickly. The guys from Totem Telly's tried to resist it but couldn't do so. Now they have to go for the early theft and just try to prevent them from getting as much as sack as possible here. They'll get a pretty successful grab there, only 8% being claimed on the initial cap from On Time, so that's pretty good. Now, they need to make the run to the other side without getting stopped. That's going to be the big issue, as you can just see there, On Time claimed it back, and now they've got it back in their obelisk. So unsuccessful theft from the guys over here on Totem Tellies, and then Waz just going off with the rails at this point. Oh, there you go. 3 kills back to back to back from him. All at low HP, too.
Yeah, Waz is a solid player. We've seen it in his duel matches, obviously, as well. On Time, I mean, looking at their lineup, they have a really solid lineup here with their players. So, you know, Totem Tellies, they're really going to have to bring their A game right now. And especially with the way it's starting. You know, they're really starting to get in a groove, lock in the defense. Guys are starting to get a little more stacked and get comfortable. You know, one of the things about Quake, you know, in terms of psychology, is making people feel uncomfortable. So once people start to get settled in, they start landing more shots, and it's really difficult. His confidence starts to get sky high at that point.
Well, Waz holding on back over here now and trying to actually dance a little bit with some of the members from Totem Tellies. He does have to eventually back out of the fight. And thankfully, his teammates are holding on to point B okay for the time being. But there's a lot of blue players sitting on that, and they're going to be able to steal it. And they have a pretty clean run, too. One player gets dropped, however, and that slows them down immensely. And now Waz has a great opportunity to drop it onto the ground. Power-up spawning in about 3 seconds here. But just as it's spawning and the blue team gets distracted by it, now all of a sudden, Waz reclaims the soul, swings back in, prevents his opponents from being able to pick up the quad initially, and Brick is going to be able to get it now. However, there is the Blazkowicz trying to dual wield, but right at that moment, Brick hits a teammate. His Zorlag moves in there to save the day, and now Brick will be able to hold control of it over here on the Scale Bear. The stealth moves in. That is going to drop the orb when you pop the stealth, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to keep control of that one, and they actually just toss it away into the pit, but I think they missed the toss, so it's still sitting in the back over there as the Soul maintains itself under the control of the red team, under the control of On Time, and they'll put it back onto their obelisk while still also holding the quad for the time being.
Yeah, they're in great shape right now. I like how they're playing, and you can just see the coordination. And again, the pressure, it just seems like Totem Tellies is really up against it right now, on their heels. They're gonna, I don't know what they can do right now, because it just seems like they're really outmatched. This team's looking really sharp with Cygib, Brick, Waz, and Effortless.
Yeah, the Blazkowicz for Cygib there unfortunately gets completely surrounded under those circumstances, and now we can see it as well. Doing a nice job there, just sniping out players left and right. Unfortunately, was not able to help out in completing the run, but some more stuff coming out now from Sanas as he is able to move in there, getting himself a lot of nice hits on the rails still, but not enough, again, to steal that orb away, as it does go back under the control of the lava pit and back into the control of the players from On Time.
Yeah, On Time's doing an excellent job working together and just locking down that area. So it looks like they're going to easily take this round. I mean, Cygib's going off back there with the rail. Waz has been going off with the rail. So they just seem really confident and comfortable right now.
Yeah, and you can see that Jeffro's going to have to move in after his teammate actually did get the 3-second channel to take it off. I'm amazed no one from On Time was actually able to successfully follow him. Well, okay, I say that, but that's going to change right now. Brick moves in, gets a quick super shotgun kill, but doesn't actually read into where the soul dropped properly, so another one of his teammates there, C-Cap, was able to move in and take that away, and now Senna is going to be able to take it as well, so he's going to be able to finally complete this run. Granted, I highly doubt On Time is really worried about this. They're sitting at 97% right now, so they have a huge cushion to play off of currently. They just have to steal back one more time, and they also just got the recent power-up spawn. That's going into the hands of Waz. He's been doing some great work so far. Now, he's going to steal it. He's got teammates supporting him on the fallback, and there we go. Makes the run, and I doubt he's going to wait for this one now since they're so far stacked up. They only need a few more % on their point. Rocket jumping his way through since he has the protection and can even clear out one or two of these guys that are left near his point while he still has that power-up helping him here. And there you go. The sacrifice moves in.
Yeah, that's why Totem Tellies, that's why that run was so, clean for them in terms of capturing the souls. They sent a couple guys to capture the power-up and secure the win right there for the round. So good job by On Time.
Yeah, and On Time will be going up 1-0 now. Nice clean start from them as they do manage to take control of the lead here early on. As for the guys from Totem Tellies, well, they've got a little bit of recovery work to do. As now, I hope they can get that initial spawn too. That seems to be a very big controlling factor that determines a lot of the follow-up on the round here. Unfortunately, despite many attempts to seal it, they only actually successfully made the run happen once. And Waz, again, great start from him. Brick charging up onto the jump pad now. And this time, they're going to choose the other site. They're going to actually take it into the church this time instead of going back to the lava pit.
Yeah, I like this site. I mentioned it several times already. In case somebody wasn't watching earlier, I really enjoy this site in terms of defense of the two because of the high ground in there and the close proximity to the heavy armor. And And even when you attack the power up area, you know, you're coming from the high side of the ramp, not the bottom, lower part of the entire map. So I think this is definitely a good spot to have.
Well, for Brick, he's in a little bit of trouble up on top here, kind of getting wrecked by these rockets. The quick switch from Jeffra over to the rails does let him get that kill. However, it won't last forever. There are a lot of players over here from the side of Totem Tellies that are getting close to be able to steal that soul away, and they finally successfully get that thing off of its point. So C-Cap's going to make the run back over to the lava pit, try to complete it, and oh no, he's got to stay away from his opponent there. They've got the gauntlets in hand. They want to go for a quick kill here. Jeffra now takes hand of it, and he should be able to complete the run this time much faster than what we saw in the previous round here. So hopefully they're going to be able to also hold this for a little bit longer too, and maybe contest better against On Time instead of just getting crushed 100 to 4, like 109 like we had in the last round.
Yeah, what's going to be critical here is, one, their defense, and can they get the power up spawning in 20 seconds? So they need at least one of those two things to happen, preferably securing the power up at all costs to make a run. So
Waz and a few of the others are holding back right now. Power up spawn goes back in. Who exactly he's going to get that pickup is yet to be seen here, of course, as Waz is very focused, and I imagine his teammates are going to help him out too. Great speed from Waz, though, despite being low on HP, still completes the run. And now in a second, power up is going to move into its spawn here, and once again it's Red that gets it. So it is going to be On Time that picks it up again, and it's Saigib that gets the initial spawn of it here. Nicely done over to the rails, and now clears out the remaining players that are trying to move in and steal the soul away immediately here. So he can just sit on the point, contest any players that move in for the contention themselves, and basically this impenetrable fortress. Everyone from the blue team does it to back away from that. Want to give respect to On Time for right now, as they do hold control, and it doesn't look like it's going to be safe for them to try and push it back so quickly.
yeah, good position after securing the power up. Not much the other team can do.
Impressive.
Saigib doing a little bit more work there himself. So he's doing a good job of trying to hold this one off. Power up finally expired, of course, so the blue team is going to be a bit safer to try and push back in. Now they're close to eliminating Saigib. However, he denies his own frag as he takes out the Nyx there right close to the end of his own life. Jeffra is going to be able to move in to finish the job and finally get some contention going on to that obelisk here. Now they steal it away, but it's not going to last for very long here. It just goes right back into the control of On Time a few moments later, so it's not even really a successful steal. They don't even get it off the point there, so a bit unfortunate. Senas trying to fight outside. He will get himself a nice pickup there against Saigib, so opens up the wayside again for them to try and push into this point as they're slowly clearing out. It looks like it's only the Sorlag left inside now, so he really cannot stop them from stealing this soul. Finally, once again, the guys from Totem Telly should be able to get that soul off the point and try to make a little bit of a run to the other side.
Yeah, it took them a little while. They're slowly working their way in there, trying to pick those guys off of the high ground. But again, you kind of got to give it to On Time, even though they lost it. It's just good delay. You know, they had that top position. They made it difficult for them, and look, even still, they didn't get back to their point. So and there was, after all that, you know, they didn't get anything for it.
And there was that nice clutch play from the Scale Bearer over here for On Time too. The nice little charge right in, stopped the run before it even really began. As soon as he got past right, like threw a line right next to where the full armor spawn, pretty much killed it there. And now the quad spawn moving back in. It does look like, let's see here, the power up goes under the control of the guys from On Time, and the quad doesn't even really become relevant here since they were so close to capping it out anyway. So On Time takes it, and they take map number 1 in 2-0 fashion, going up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, very dominant. Very dominant. I fail to see how they're going to turn it around. You know, On Time's just they're winning the fights. I mean, looking at the frag death count, you know, for both teams, so they're winning the fights. They're forgive the pun, but they're on time for the for the power up, and you know, and they're there for the soul, and you can see how they're working together, and it's similar to Team Johnson. You know, when they took it to that church, you could really see they had a defensive approach, a defensive strategy, a game plan that they wanted to stick to. So you can tell they've been working on it. And again, as we've seen several of these players, you know, progress through the dual portion of this competition, you know, we've seen their talents in a 1v1 situation as well. So you're gonna have to. I don't know what Totem Telly is going to do. I think they need to bust out the Galena. I think it needs to happen.
Well, we'd hope they do that, but let's see. I mean, we're going to Ruins. There's definitely room for the totems to be used on Ruins. I think the problem with Galena is going to be that in, you know, when you get on the sacrifice, there's a lot more like just projectile cannon fodder in a 4v4 mode comparatively to when you're just in a 1v1 there. So I feel like it's a lot harder to set up like totem traps and things like that comparatively to when you're trying to do it in a duel environment. And that may be why we're not really seeing any Galena play so far in these sacrifice matches, just because it's a lot harder to actually make effective work with the totem, because they probably go down so quickly since there's just so many players trying to kill them.
Yeah, I'm wondering though if like in those messy obelisk fights, you know, and you have some kind of high ground and you just kind of throw the totem down into the dancing mess of people to see what happens, because it's going to heal your teammates and damage the enemies at the same time. It's kind of, yeah. I'd just be curious. I'd like to experiment, basically.
That's actually a good point too. Is we've seen that in duel a couple of times on Galenas as well, when players try to like get some like nice little burst damage in by quickly throwing a totem out and then just trying to bait their opponent's path into running into it there. So we've already seen that used. So there is the question as to if that could be used in an environment here in sacrifice as well, because that could definitely be viable. I think it's just the fact that you can't really set up or, you know, keep one in the back to use as a nice little healing post for your teammates. It's probably way too easy to snuff out those totems, so that may explain why it's been such an unpopular character so far here in duel, or not duel, excuse me, in sacrifice.
Yeah, I think using it more in a live circumstance would definitely be better than just throwing them randomly around the map.
Once again, in the warm-up here, and for those that are just tuning into the stream, On Time does have the advantage. Took map number 1 in dominant fashion, claiming it. Both of the initial rounds went to them, so they did just take it in a nice quick 2-0. Didn't need to go to round 3. For their opponents, they now need to strike back, as Totem Tellys was able to get control, or excuse me, Totem Tellys was able to go and pick this map. So we hope they're going to be a little bit more proficient on this map. We'll have to see, though, as it's On Time's time to try and close out in this series and claim the 4th and final spot this week for North American Regionals for Sacrifice. Let's go. Let's jump into the fight, and let's take a look and see who's going to be able to get the initial advantage in this second map. Spawns looking pretty good actually for Totem Tellys, as they are able to move back in there. Brick, however, on a charge steals it away. He's the only one that steals it away, but nicely done on the jump pad. Gets 1 kill, and right before going down, unfortunately loses a lot of players here On Time, and some of the others are going. The members of On Time are going to be able to go in and pretty much just crush most of the offense there. And again, same as the rounds previous, they get nice early control and they pretty much deny any initial attempts to steal the soul. So they're going to get at least a good 20 to 30%, I would imagine, before Totem Tellys even gets their first theft.
Yep, it's initial control. I like the scale bearer charge. We saw Rafa timing that earlier for Team Liquid. I think that's a good way to get control of the soul initially. You know, especially, you know, add a Sorlag, spit on top of it while your scale bearer is charging through, and it becomes really difficult, you know, for your enemy team to run through there.
Well, Brick sitting back here now and trying to hop down below. He is actually forced off the point. There's a nice little burst of players that comes in from Totem Tellys and allows them to steal the soul. Now they need to actually complete the run. There's quite a few players in the way. Waz, nicely done. Snipes the soul away just as a player tries to dive downstairs to go for the lower jump pad. So that's going to put it back under the control of the red team temporarily. They need to complete the run back over to their side, though, as Senes is doing a lot of work to prevent this currently. Unfortunately, it's not going to be successful at the end of the day, and they should be able to complete this run inside. Brick is having problems holding off on the actual site, but finally clears it out, and now it's clean enough to where they can complete this run back over to their point and continue to tick up, whereas the guys from Totem Tellys have nothing yet.
Yeah, Waz doing a good job. He's running the Mega Health and Armor right now, the heavy armor, so it's going to make it difficult for, you know, for Totem Tellys to really get back in the game, because they're not going to have the heavy armor or Mega Health, and now he just got the power up. It's looking bleak right now.
Great control, great control over the platform where the power-up spawns as well. We saw Waz and a few of the others actually knock off multiple players from the side of Totem Tellys, so really good control being exercised there. And I mean, just look at how aggressive they're being here now to get the soul back. 3 guys all pushing together, all grouped up at this point. The clutch is going to try to get in the way, but not going to happen when he still has that protection working for him there. So really great stuff from Waz. He's just ripping through everybody on the other team right now.
Yeah, did a good job. I just saw the whole sequence of events. You know, he picked up the Mega Health, he had the heavy armor time, then he went right there for the power up and went on his run. So he not only did he get the power up, he was stacked right before he got it.
Soul does get sneak stolen though, as they kind of ninja'd away for a moment there. And actually, the Anarchy's making a lot of progress. Waz trying to get into the way of this one, but unfortunately, he's stuck behind. However, patience pays off for him. He can move in and just get a nice little double kill there. In fact, look, he's on a rage right now. So moves in, and he's going to have no problem picking up this next one. Waz is going off currently. He's sitting at 10-1 in the matchup, only dying one time. He's got all his kills on this life. Finally, we'll make the run back over to the other point. He is going to be followed up pretty quickly. Let's see how many more kills he's going to be able to get before he finally goes down. There's one pickup there. Still holding back for a few extra seconds. We do have the power-up spawning in about 45 seconds, but Waz just continuing to cause trouble here as he's made the run back, and nobody from the side of Totem Tellers can even get close to him.
Yeah, I've been watching what you've been watching. He is on fire right now.
And now he just wants more kills, so he's going to go back to mid as he knows that power-up is spawning here in a moment. There's another one. He's got another one going to the jump pad. He knows that one over to the LGs. This is a close enough fight to use that one. And another frag. Gets the mega health. Dodges the rocket from his opponent's clutch. And another kill. Another triple kill sequence from him. And the power-up is only just now about to spawn. Waz even has time to go back. Misses that rail, but his teammate does the work for him. He'll pick the soul back up, retrieve it once again. Toss that thing back into the Albus. Oh no, he's finally low against his clutch. Has the injection ready to go though, so he can keep himself alive. But his opponent is going to be able to steal the soul away. Turns around at the last moment. And now his own teammate moves in again to steal that soul back and make sure it is not leaving this room at all. Meanwhile, the protection did go under the control of his teammate. You can see that being controlled by the clutch. We're going to stay on Waz's perspective just to see how many kills he can get in this one life. He's up to 14. Oh, he was one short of a 15 kill streak, but he does finally go down to bot mode.
Assistant.
Yeah, what a heck of a run by Waz. I mean, he was just lining him up and knocking him down right there. I mean, this impressive stuff. On time's looking ready to advance. I mean, another dominant round for them. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, they're really putting on him. Totem Tellies is not looking hot right now.
Yeah, and Waz is looking amazing to say the least there. So he goes in and just completely destroys everyone. Like I said, 14 kills. He only died twice in that entire round, I believe. Let me double check it. Yeah, so only 2 deaths for him in that entire round. And he managed to push forward and make it all the way up to 14 kills in that one life before he finally got taken out just a few seconds before it ended. Would have been amazing if he could end it while still on that streak, of course, but wasn't meant to be in this very chaotic mode. He finally did get taken out, but impressive to say the least to go on that kind of a streak. His team is once again going to get the initial pickup here. They did a great job. Look at this. All 4 players from the side of Totem Tellers completely pushed out from this soul spawn. So for yet another round here, On Time is going to have no problem picking it up, even taking the long route through the jump pad to go over here into the altar spawn instead and get control of Obelisk B.
Went with a different obelisk this time. But I think after, you know, I don't think it's really going to matter at this point with the way they've been dominating these rounds. I think they could choose any obelisk.
Looks like, however, the guys from Totem Tellers, well, at least initially, he's going to be able to get that soul at the point, but Sakit, man, you can't even see him. He's just sniping these players left and right. CCAP, lost him alive now, but he's going to be chased up. He's trying to stay away from it, but all he did was get it closer back over to his opponent's obelisk, and Brick completes the run for his team there, as they do put it back on their own obelisk, and again, deny another attempt from the guys on Totem Tellers to steal that soul away. Another one's moving back in for it. Nice little rail, a nice little dodging around it. He'll steal the soul away and takes down Brick just before he leaves the point. So nicely done. Goes behind the clutch's shield and should be able to easily hop his way back over to his own point. But 3 enemies already here, already ready to contest it for the side of On Time, and Effortless has already picked up the soul back and is going to throw that thing away. He may be able to hop back in and grab it in a moment though, but no, Senas is going to do it for him. It's just going to go back and forth. Just a game of catch, it seems, between these 2 players currently. Effortless has it back now. He'll throw it over to Saigib. He'll throw it over to Waz. They're just having a game of catch in the middle there by that portal. And finally, I think Waz... No, Jeffrey's got it now, so he's stolen it back the other side. And they're going to try to take it back over to their obelisk.
Power up coming up right now. So somebody's got to get it. This is going to help stabilize things for either team.
And again, it's actually going to be Totem Tellers that gets it this time. So finally, they're turning things around a little bit. Senas will be able to pick it up over here on the Ranger, doing some nice up-close work with the super shotgun. They got great control, and it looks like actually they're going to be able to take the lead for the first time.
Yeah, good power-up control right now. This is how you do it. I mean, you got to work together, get that power up. Now you got a strong defense protection running around. Get some momentum going. Next thing you know, shots that weren't landing start landing. It's part of it's a little bit of confidence and psychology in this game, that's for sure.
Senaz still going off there despite the power up now expiring. Teammate moving in there to assist Jeffrey, still sniping players out at range. Nicely done with the rails. And nicely done with the control over this point too, doing a lot of work to be able to keep members of Time off this actual point and keep them away from it. So Senaz just going to continue to unleash hell with those rockets and attempt from the scale barrier to try and push back in, but as you saw, Senaz denies it. Does not even let him get close to it. Senaz is going to have to finally fall back and look for a little bit of health. In the meantime, Saigev picks that up, just quickly tosses it over to Waz, but he goes down. Senaz again saves the day, tries to toss it, but he goes down to Saigev just a second before he picks it back up. Bot mode gets it, and again denied by Saigev, and he gets another kill too. Took out bot mode, C-Cap, and one more. Effortless gets the soul, but Senaz again keeps it back. Now it's in Waz's hands, and I think Waz should finally be able to complete this run. It's being chased, but he completes the run. However, there's more pressure being thrown at him by the guys on Totem Tellies. They're right on top of point B, and in a second they should be able to try and steal this soul away. They got so close, but no. I think the guys from On Time are able to hold it for a few extra moments here, but no, there we go. Jeffrey now gets it off the point and is going to try to make a run. Senaz now has it in his hands. There's a lot of players here. Senaz keeps trying to throw it. Keeps missing the throw. There we go. Finally got it in the hands of Jeffrey. A little bit of chaotic. Just calm down there.
Yeah, calm down, guys. Make the pass. Make the pass. 20 seconds on power up. You know, so On Time, if they want to turn this around, it's a good way to do it because they're getting some momentum over here. I told them, you got to be careful letting teams do that. You know,
Effortless gets a nice denial off at range. There's some really good rail shots coming out in this round from both teams. But Waz, he's able to hold on, gets himself now the run back over here to try and get onto the power up. The opponent's got the quad, but they do not have a lot of support sitting behind. The shield is now gone. Bot mode saves his teammate there, prevents the pickup. So now the blue team will have it, but C-Cap with it contained is going to move over to point B, steal the soul away, and they should have a relatively free run back to their side. I think, oh no, Effortless, beautifully done. Look at that, the double kill, now a triple kill as he claims another one. He is going to be brought down low. Senaz pushes in. We still have the soul sitting back down on the ground, but Effortless did a great job of delaying it, getting another extra, 5 to 10% off after his opponents were eventually going to steal it, and it looks like once again they've been able to delay it as Brick picks up the quad there. He's only got about 2 seconds on it, but he gets up close and personal and just destroys his opponent, doing massive work with the railgun. He even gets the railgun god medal now, as he's just tearing players apart time after time after time again.
Yeah, it's looking like they got it under control a little bit now. It's been a little rocky for them this round. Totem Telly's really putting a little pressure. I don't know if they can close it out. Again, looks like maybe they're starting to stabilize here.
Yeah, they're slowly getting it under their control. There's definitely still some easy room, actually, for the guys on Totem Tellies to go in and steal this orb, but there's just these huge individual plays that players like Waz and Brick keep making, just like that. Brick moving in. They are going to steal the soul away, but they may not be able to contain it here. It all depends on who catches this when it gets tossed back out. And yep, it goes right back onto their obelisk. Actually, I think it did. Where's it at? It's right. Oh yeah, it's sitting right on the ground there. So that's going to get tossed away. Saigev does steal it at one last moment. It only gets tossed back off the point and into the hands of the red team. But oh no, this Sorlag's alone. Clutch toss though to put it back up on top. Now someone from the red team needs to grab it, but no. Back over to the blue team. Back over to the control of Totem Tellies as they once again try to complete this run, but only get it part way. Senaz is going to have to try and do the job for him. Thankfully, he's got a relatively conflict-free run there, so he gets it back over to the point. But same as before, man. Everyone from On Time is already there trying to steal it back, and they don't even give them like a % or two. They just immediately take that thing away.
Yeah, just got to get back into form now. They just need to secure this power up and they can close the show.
Your team has the quad.
And there's going to be another quad spawn here too. Jeffrey gets it this time, but he is a little bit low. Nicely done, the switch to the rail. 320 damage with that. He's got the rockets. He's got a clutch sitting in the way here. That LG should actually hold it back for long enough for Jeffrey to close the range here. But just before he does, no! Waz comes in with a clutch shot, shaves not only his teammate, but also throws the orb back. Thankfully, blue team still maintains control over the situation currently. Senaz is low though, and that charge coming into him is a little bit dangerous. Senaz keeps mentioning these rail shots. This would be easy kills for him, as he does have the quad to work with. Finally gets that kill, but okay. He's going to get taken down at the very end of it by Saigev, but now C-Cap picks it up. He's got a nice little defense set up here. And again, the guys from Totem Tellies continue to close the gap. Only about 5% behind their opponents. More are going to move in, though, and just before they actually tie things back up, the soul is going to be stolen away by Effortless. Tossed off it, and now they're going to try to make their run back over to point B here. C-Cap stands in the way of it. He is going to try to drop this soul care and see if he can start swinging it back in the direction. Drops the first player. There was a second close by, but I think he died too, so right back under the control of Totem Tellies.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's getting close. Totem Tellies can just snake this round. They can get themselves really back in this match. And, you know, get themselves that confidence that they can beat these guys. They really need to close the show right now.
Waz,
it's in the balance.
Yeah, he's got the soul though, and now I think he's finally gonna. Oh my goodness! Even if he gets this here, there's still that clutch in the way, and there's 3 other players trying to move in. That shield doing a nice work, but Waz doing nicer work, getting behind his opponents, taking out the clutch. He'll still go down, and Jeffrey will once again steal the soul off of Obelisk V and out of the hands of team number 2, out of the hands of On Time here. He'll be able to run it back over. Thankfully, he got that mega health pickup on the way, so he makes it over, still with a lot of health in excess. And there's gonna be a gauntlet battle, it seems like, but oh no, the bait. But Jeffrey gets the kill anyway. Nicely done, nicely held by Jeffrey. He's now got more work to do though, as there is gonna be a skill bearer pushing back in. They delete that, and now they finally push past the percentage total of On Time right now. On Time is trying to leech in a few players so that they can try to ninja away the orb. It's not going to be so easy, though. Jeffrey still sits on the point. Over to the gauntlet again as he gets another kill back to the rails. He'll finally go down to Waz as he pushes onto the point, steals it, but Waz, only on this Anarchy, needs to move quickly. He's a very, very vulnerable target. If he sits around, beautifully done by Waz. Spins in, getting rail shots all over the place here. Needs to use that injection to stay alive, but I think they solidify it. Now they're going to close the gap on the overall percentage for Totem Tellies, and they just need to make sure that this thing doesn't get stolen again, but they may not be able to do much to avoid that. Their opponents had the protection. Their opponents just used the shield and the clutch to go in and steal this again, and there's only the Anarchy standing in the way. He is low, yes, but oh no, the body block works out okay. Saigib over to the gauntlet. He gets a double kill on the gauntlet, and now he's going to steal it back. He's not home free just yet, but on the jump up here, should be able to toss it in and secure it once more for his team, and finally let them take the lead again here. It's coming down to this last 12% between these two teams. Saigib pops the dual wheel to get another player off the point, but there's one more still there, trying to push in, trying to steal that soul. Now 2 as another one leaps onto the point here. Waz over to the gauntlet for another kill with it. Senaz trying his best to trade. C-Cap now jumping onto the point too. C-Cap will finally be able to steal the soul away here, but he's not going to make it very far. Doesn't even get into the mega health room. Waz is going to push forward, gets it back into the point. They're at 99%. If they can push them off, they're going to get this sacrifice. They're going to take mount number 2, and with that, they're going to be able to win this series 2-0. It's just a few more players they have to knock out here, and they're going to be able to do it. Oh my goodness, and there we go.
Oh, man.
Finally for On Time, they claim it in an extremely close, extremely intense round. It came down to that last 12%, but On Time will claim it, and they will take this series 2-0.
Yeah, much better go around that time from Totems. Came up a little short, you know, but well played. That was a well fought round. Very close. What can you say? But you got to give credit to On Time. I mean, Waz and Brick and Saigib. I mean, we saw some crazy stuff from them. Every single one of those guys seemed to go on a run, you know, at opportune times, and really just kept things in their favor. I mean, every time I kept switching to one of their views, it's just like at one moment it's Waz, the next moment it'd be Brick, and he just, you know, going off and hitting some amazing shots and really making a difference in the match. And not to mention, you know, some good coordination in terms of securing the power ups and getting back on defense. And so good job for On Time. Way to advance.
All right, and with that, guys, that is going to close out the action for today here at Sacrifice. Do not forget, however, that we do still have the dual qualifiers, the final dual qualifiers for this week, tomorrow for both Europe and North America. Do not forget to tune in for that, as we have 8 more matches in both regions, 16 matches total split between Europe and North America tomorrow. So don't forget to tune in, as we're going to have 16 more players qualifying for the regionals in the dual format. That's the 1v1. It's the classic Quake format, so don't forget to miss that. And once again, like we said, that's going to be happening tomorrow. Thanks again, folks, for tuning in. That's going to be it for myself and Machiavelli. We'll see you tomorrow for those final qualifiers in Duel for North America. But for now, we're peacing out. Have a good one, guys, and we'll see you next time.